Hello everyone. Welcome to our Together We Teach assignment. Our topic is Evolution of Advertising in India. Our team members are Manisha Bhomik, Vishal Kalita, and Sheta Bordoloi. For better understanding, we have divided our topic into three segments, which goes as origin and development, different stages of advertising, and development of modern advertising. Origin and development of advertising in India. The term advertising is derived from the Latin word advertere, which means to turn attention towards a specific thing. Advertising simply means a public announcement, but nowadays the functions of advertisements go beyond announcements as they persuade the prospective buyer, remind the existing buyers, create demand, brand preference, and brand loyalty. Earliest forms of advertising in India. During the Indus Valley civilization, people used to walk down the streets with drums to spread important information. So people would stop and listen just as we do when we stop to read an advertisement on the road or watch an advertisement on television. Then there used to be signs or shops or drinking houses to indicate the name of shop or the shop owner. The highly urbanized cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro employed signs to sell the many types of art and craft items. So our ancient civilization were famous for these kind of things. During the Emperor Ashoka's reign, stones or pillars were used for making public announcements. So there has always been advertisement of some sorts or the other. Development of advertising through print media. First issue of the first newspaper of the Indian subcontinent was the Bengal Gazette. It carried a few advertisements. Around 3 dozen newspapers and periodicals were being published on a regular basis from India by 1830. The history of advertising in India, therefore, parallels the history of the Indian press. During the early years, the newspapers announced births, deaths, appointments, arrival and departure of ships, and sale of furniture. By the beginning of the 19th century, the pattern of advertising revealed a definite change. Even the daily newspapers announced themselves through advertisement in existing periodicals. The power of advertising increased rapidly with the growth in trade and commerce. Development of advertising through ad agencies. The first Indian ad agency, the Indian Advertising Agency, was launched in the very early years of the 20th century. On the other hand, B. Dataram and Co., located in Gigom in Mumbai and launched in 1905, also claims to be the oldest existing Indian agency. This was followed by the launch of the Calcutta Advertising Agency in 1909. By the 1920s, a number of Indian agencies were working for the major Indian cities, the most important being the Modern Publicity Company in Madras, Central Publicity Service in Bombay and Calcutta, and the Oriental Advertising Agency in Tiruchirappalli. In 1931, the first full-fledged Indian ad agency, the National Advertising Service, was established. During the post-independence era, the advertising business was well on its way to growth and expansion. The Indian Society of Advertisers was formed in 1951 and in May 1958. The Society of Advertising Practitioners was established and advertising clubs came up in Bombay and Calcutta to promote higher standards of work. Recent developments of advertising. Market research and readership surveys led to further professionalization of the advertising industry. Television rating points, popularly known as TRP measurements, provided ad agencies with statistical data on consumer or viewer likes and dislikes and helped them create effective media plans and ad campaigns. Moreover, the introduction of the multicolor printing, improved printing machines, and the development of commercial art gave the ad business a further boost. The advertising agencies expanded their services, and this was due to the phenomenal growth in media. Besides selling space in newspapers and magazines, they began to offer artworks, organization of fairs and exhibitions, and market research.
From window shopping on the internet to reading all the latest news everywhere we look, There is advertising earlier in 19th and 20th century. Advertising was not the same as it is today. It has changed the way we look at the outside world. It has transformed our lifestyle. This modern economy with the digital media and interactivity has changed the dynamics of how consumers see and pay attention to advertised goods and services. And unquestionably, this change is likely to accelerate in the years ahead. Let us now talk about the different stages of advertising. The first stage, 1900 to 1947. The second stage, 1947 to 1977. And the third stage, 1977 to 2000. In the first stage, that was from 1900 to 1947, advertising products were originated abroad. Indian production was very minimal, economic growth was negligible. Investment in the market was very low and most of the indigenous products were commodities and did not really need an advertisement. In the second stage, that was from 1947 to 1977, India started on the path of self-reliance. The Press Commission was established in 1953 and the total amount of money that was spent on ads in India was rupees 5 crore. That is 3.5 crores on print ads and 1.5 crores on hoardings. It was the third stage from 1977 to 2000. The second Press Commission was established in 1983. At this point, ad revenue touched rupees 200 crore. Increase in revenue was phenomenal, almost 40 times. 1982 was a trademark here because color TV came in, changing the Indian lives completely. TV reached to 70% of the Indian people. Now with that, let us look at some very important events and dates that have left their footprints on the evaluation and history of advertisement. B. Dataraman and Company claims to be the oldest existing Indian agency in Gurugram in Bombay in 1905. Ellis Staunch and Company, Bombay, starts the agency called National Setup for American rather than British advertisers. Bomas, DJ, Kmart and Company Ltd sets up in 1928. J. Walter Thompson Company formed in 1929. Indian agencies, foreign advertising in the 30s. 1931, National Advertising Service, Bombay set up. 1936, Krishna Publication Company, Kanpur begins operation. 1935, Indian Publicity Bureau, Calcutta established Indian Broadcasting Company, becomes All India Radio. AIR. 1939, Lever's Advertising Department launches Dalda, the first major example of brand and a marketing campaign specifically developed for Indian. Indianizing advertisements in the 40s. 1941, Lux signs Leela Chitnis as the first Indian film actress to endorse the product. 1943, Advertising and Sale Promotion Company, Calcutta established. 1944, Dazzle, Bombay comes into existence. 1948, RC Advertising Company, Bombay sets up. Corporate advertising in the 50s. 1961, Industrial Advertising Agency, Bombay comes into existence. 1962, India's television's first soap opera, Teesra Rasta, enthralls viewers. 1963, Bomas changes name to S.H. Benson's. 1966, first commercial appears on Vivid Bharati. The problematic 70s. 1970 and 1978, National Readership Studies provided relevant data on consumers' reading habits. 1976, commercial television initiated. 1978, first television commercial seen. Glued to the television in the 80s. 1984, Hum Log, Doordarshan's first soap opera in the color era, was born. 1986, Sanada is born on July 31st. The Bengali magazine still flies India by selling 75,000 copies within the 3 hours of appearing on the newsstand. Tech savvy in the 90s. 1900 marks the beginning of new media internet. 1991, first India targeted satellite channel, ZTV starts broadcasts. 1997, media boom with the growth of cable and satellite, print media sees an increase in titles, especially in specialized areas. In the new millennium, 2000, Mudra launches magindia.com, India's first advertising and marketing gallery. 2001, Trikaya Grey becomes Grey worldwide.
Advertising and marketing are an integral part of running a successful business. One has the option to stick to conventional advertising methods or go for fresher, more modern advertising methods nowadays. The internet in particular has led to the emergence of many new age modern advertising techniques. With advertisers getting more experimental, they are coming up with ideas that are truly modern and innovative. Evolution and development have led to the emergence of many new age modern advertising techniques. Advertising in a modern era is completely different from traditional advertising. Here are some of the modern advertising methods that are emerging today as some of the most effective strategies. Print advertising. Advertising in print media was very common in traditional times, but it doesn't mean that this form of advertising has lost its impact. As a matter of fact, when combined with digital methods, print advertising can also work wonders in boosting sales and marketing efforts. There are subcategories in print advertising, which includes periodical advertising. This form of advertising refers to ads that are printed in newspapers, magazines, or anything published at regular intervals. Brochures, flyers, and leaflets. While these ads can also be placed in newspapers, they are considered different because they are a more intimate and long form method of engaging with the customer. Direct mail advertising. As the name indicates, this basically refers to print advertising that's mailed directly to the customer's addresses. If it is done in the correct way, direct mail can be an excellent way to engage with the client as long as it is intelligently conceived, created, and properly executed. Testimonials and endorsements. One of the most modern and powerful advertising methods to be introduced in the past few years is the use of celebrities and other important figures in the promotion process. Getting an influential personality to endorse and recommend a product is enough to tempt customers to try the product. Outdoor advertising. While it is not exactly a new method of advertising, it still remains effective and is widely used. The term refers to any type of advertising that targets the customers when they are outside. This can include bus shelter posters, billboards, fly posters, and even digital boards one can see in some areas. Public service advertising. Last but not the least, they are also public service advertisements, PSA, which are primarily aimed to educate and inform instead of selling a product or service. They traditionally appeared on radios and TVs, but also can be seen online now. Digital or online advertising. When you are using the internet and visiting websites, you automatically notice advertisements there. Likewise, you can also see ads in search engines. All of these are basically forms of online or digital advertising. They started out as simple ones but have expanded to include web banner ads, which are quite similar to billboards on roads, bandwagon advertising, as well as ads on social media networks. There are video ads as well that you can find on Facebook and other social platforms. The current trends in mobile advertising involves the use of major social platforms like Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Broadcast advertising. Until recently, this form of advertising was the only one available when businesses wished to reach a large audience. This mass market form of communication typically involved the use of radio and television, but it has taken a beating in the last couple of years. But it is still a popular way to reach your audience, especially on special occasions or at specific times when one know that they will be watching the TV or listening to the radio. Guerrilla advertising. In the last 20 years, another form of advertisement has become quite noticeable, and this is guerrilla advertising or ambient media. This term is broadly used to define anything that's unconventional. Moreover, in guerrilla advertising, the customer is invited to interact with or participate in some way. Timing is as important as a location with this method, and creative ideas and innovations serve as driving forces behind guerrilla marketing or advertising. With this, we would like to conclude our presentation. Thank you so much for watching.